Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here today because we're about to unlock what honestly feels like an absolute superpower once you get it working. We are talking about mastering the ultimate three-monitor laptop workspace. Seriously, if you've ever felt totally cramped on a single laptop screen and dreamed of a massive, sprawling digital command center, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this, you plug in that second external monitor, getting ready to build your dream three-screen setup and nothing, right? You're met with this stubbornly black screen, or worse, Windows just forces a duplicate image of what you already have. It is such a common frustration, but guess what? It is completely fixable. Here's the exact roadmap for how we're going to fix this. First, we'll look at the laptop limit. Second, hardware workarounds. Third, the physical assembly. And fourth, the software configuration.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the laptop limit, specifically internal GPU constraints.
So here's the deal. Even if your laptop physically has multiple ports on the side, it doesn't necessarily mean it has the actual processing power to drive displays out of all of them at the exact same time. This really all comes down to the internal graphics processing unit, your GPU, and your system's available RAM. Most laptops just have a hard physical limit on how many simultaneous displays their hardware can handle. And when you hit that internal wall, that's when your third monitor stays completely black or it's forced to duplicate. Basically, your laptop is literally just saying, hey, I simply don't have the internal graphics power for this.
Which brings us to Section 2, hardware workarounds. It's time to bypass those limits. To break right through that hardware wall, you essentially have three main options, and it really just depends on your budget. For around $20 to $50, a USB to HDMI adapter is a fantastic budget-friendly fix for just basic everyday use. Stepping up, a docking station runs about $80 to $200, and that acts as a centralized productivity hub for your entire desk. And finally, for you power users out there who absolutely need that crisp 4K resolution, a Thunderbolt hub is going to run you somewhere between $150 to $300.
Yeah, it's important to know that a USB display adapter isn't just some dumb cable. It actually acts like an external brain. It connects to a standard USB port and uses its very own software and drivers to create a brand new display signal. That means it completely bypasses your maxed out GPU. It's a total game changer. Alternatively, if you go with a docking station, you just plug all your monitors directly into the dock, and then a single solitary USB-C cable connects to your laptop. Boom, your entire three-monitor command center comes to life instantly.
Moving right along to Section 3, the physical assembly. Let's actually connect this hardware together. Okay, before you start aggressively plugging things in, just do a really quick inventory. You want to make sure you match up your cable types to the specific ports on each monitor and your new adapter. Take a second to verify you have the exact HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, or USB-C cables you need to match your dock's outputs directly to your monitor's inputs. No forced fits here.
Now, the absolutely crucial point here is following these physical connection steps in order. That's how we make sure everything communicates properly on startup. Step 1. It's highly recommended to just power off your laptop first. Start fresh. Step 2. Connect your first monitor directly into your laptop's built-in HDMI or DisplayPort. Step 3. Plug that shiny new docking station or USB adapter right into a USB port on the laptop. Step 4. Hook up monitors 2 and 3 into the docking station. And finally, Step 5. Power on all of the monitors first and then turn on your laptop. Doing it in this exact sequence is what helps the laptop easily recognize all that new hardware the second it boots up.
Oh, and here is a massive pro tip. If you happen to be using a docking station with DisplayPort, you should really utilize daisy chaining. Instead of running 3 messy, separate cables all the way back to your dock, you can just connect your laptop to monitor 1, run a short cable from monitor 1 over to monitor 2, and then another from 2 to 3. It creates this incredibly sleek, continuous sequence of displays that makes your cable management look totally professional. No more spaghetti nests.
All right, the final stretch. Section 4, software configuration. Time to tweak those Windows settings.
So to get Windows to actually recognize our massive new setup, we need to jump into the display settings. You can hit the Windows key plus I, or just simply right-click anywhere on your desktop and hit Display Settings. If one of your screens happens to be hiding, just click that Detect button. Now you're going to see 3 monitor icons numbered 1, 2, and 3. You absolutely must click and drag these digital icons so they perfectly, exactly match how your monitors are physically sitting on your desk. Seriously, if you don't do this, your mouse cursor is going to get trapped, or it'll mysteriously jump to the completely wrong screen when you try to drag a window.
Once the digital setup matches your physical reality, just hit apply. Next up, we need to set the display mode. Under the Multiple Display section, you'll see a few options. Now, duplicate these displays is really just for presentations, when you want a whole room to see exactly what's on your tiny laptop screen. But what you want is extend these displays. This is the magic setting, guys. Extending means every single monitor becomes a unique piece of one massive, continuous workspace. You can finally have your email open on the far left, your main focus project in the center, and a web browser hanging out on the right.
Just to polish off the whole setup, we've got a few final tweaks. First, click on whichever monitor you want to act as your center hub and check the little box that says "Make this my main display." That's what tells Windows where to anchor your taskbar and where new apps should naturally pop up. Next, double-check that your resolution is set correctly for each individual monitor. Usually that's 1920 by 1080 for standard HD. Also, if you have monitors of totally different sizes, make sure you adjust the display scale to maybe 125% or 150%. That way your text doesn't look completely microscopic on one screen and ridiculously huge on another. You can even flip a monitor vertically and change the orientation to portrait. Super handy if you're a programmer reading lines and lines of code.
Now, stepping slightly beyond just extending a laptop, there's a whole broader world of HDMI hardware out there you might run into. Just as a quick cheat sheet, if you ever need to send one single signal out to multiple screens, kind of like what you see in a retail store, you'd use an HDMI splitter. On the flip side, if you've got a laptop, a gaming console, and maybe a streaming box all fighting for the same single screen, you'd use an HDMI switch to easily toggle between them.
But for the absolute ultimate power users out there, there's the HDMI Matrix. This glorious device basically combines the splitter and the switch into one box. It allows multiple devices to be connected to multiple displays at the exact same time, and you can instantly route any device to any screen you want. It is the definition of maximum flexibility for a workspace.
Okay, if you hit a snag along the way, do not panic. Here are your rapid-fire troubleshooting fixes. Monitor not detected? Check those physical cable connections and hit that Detect button in your settings. All your screens showing the exact same image? Don't worry, just go back to Settings and make sure you've selected Extend. Getting a single black screen? Double-check the cable, maybe try a different port, and definitely make sure your laptop's graphics drivers are fully up to date. And finally, if only 2 out of your 3 screens are working, that almost certainly means you've hit that GPU limit we talked about in Section 1. You'll just need to make sure you're properly utilizing your USB display adapters or your docking station. And there you have it. By simply understanding the internal hardware limits of your laptop and utilizing the right docks or adapters, you can completely break through that wall and build yourself the ultimate productivity setup. Seriously, just think about the sheer amount of time you're going to save by not having to constantly minimize and maximize Windows all day long. So now that you've unlocked an entirely new level of focus and efficiency with 3 screens of endless digital real estate right at your fingertips, what will you build first? Thanks so much for exploring this explainer with me today, and keep learning.